The the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct we had yesterday. Obviously, I'm not Direct Data. Obviously, I'm not reacting to it because I already watched it. I watched it live. I normally am not up for those earlier directs, or I'm at work during directs, unless they're like late day directs or they happen to be a day I have off. But I got up earlier because I was worried that pre-orders would open and sell out quick, and I wanted to get a pre-order, and pre-orders did not. I have to worry about that next week. Oh boy, I can't say that I'm not a little stressed about it because I know that based off of how recent releases have been, that pre-orders will open and sell out very quick. But I have plans and I'm going to try to tackle it. I'm really hoping I get a Switch 2 at launch. I want to be doing some of the multiplayer stuff that other people in my streaming community are doing. Good luck on it. Thanks. It's I am, like I said, I am a little anxious over it, but I'll do what I can. I don't think I can afford to pay a scalper, and I don't want to reward a scalper. And so, but before we get into all that, the presentation itself, I'm not playing the presentation here. We're not going to spend an hour like that. I'm just kind of going to go over the things that were shown and announced. They started with a trailer for Mario Kart World, which will be a launch title. It's honestly looks like the most exciting Mario. I'm not a huge Mario Kart fan. I like Mario Kart, but in terms of like kart racers, my go-to always as a kid was Diddy Kong Racing. That was like my ideal, and nothing really matched that for me until Sonic Racing All Stars Transformed, partly due to like all the characters and stuff from different franchises, and Disney Speedstorm, which I really like the mechanics of, and again all the different characters. But what I always liked about Diddy Kong Racing was its adventure mode, the solo mode, where you had like a hub world to explore and stuff. Yeah, the anti-scalper pre-order conditions. Before I continue talking about Mario Kart World, the anti-scalper thing, that's it is true. So Nintendo in Europe and Nintendo Japan, or not Japan, I don't know what Nintendo Japan's doing. Nintendo Europe and Nintendo America are having two slightly different ways they're going about it, and Nintendo of Europe's is a little different. I don't fully know the exact details, so I'm not going to get into it. But what Nintendo of America is doing is, so pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch 2 open April 9th, next Wednesday. That's the pre-orders for retailers. Nintendo also has their online store, and they are letting people, I think until April 9th, sign up that they have interest in purchasing the Nintendo Switch. You can either get the console or the bundle that I'll talk about. But you have to choose which one you're interested in. Then on May 8th, they will be sending out invitations to people to purchase the Nintendo Switch 2 through them, which you won't necessarily get on launch day. It has to be shipped to you. You'll find out when you'd get it, when you go to make the purchase. So it's not my ideal situation. But the way that it's anti-scalper is these invites. So if you get an invite, you can only purchase one. And to get an invite, you need a Nintendo account. You need to have paid for at least a year's subscription of Nintendo Online. They're not very clear if it's talking about the current year or just any time, which it makes me unsure if I'm qualified because I'm currently on a family plan with friends, and I am not the one paying for it. Like I pay the person who has the account. I pay my share of it. Oh god, my zipper just got weird. But I'm not the one paying for the the year thing, but I have in the past, so I'm not sure if I'm eligible. That's the first condition. Oh god, my zipper just got all screwed up. The heck? There we go. The second condition is you must currently have an online or be on an online subscription. And I'm on a friend's, or I'm on a family plan, but I believe that still counts at least. I think. And the third condition is you must have played at least 50 hours with your play data information being sent to Nintendo to because there's an option to toggle on like that for like troubleshooting and stuff, like to collect data, which I do have on. And the big caveat is all of these have to have been met on April 2nd, on the day that they announced all this. So you can't retroactively try to meet one of the requirements. Because of all of these, and then there's all those conditions, and then you're qualified to get an email from Nintendo inviting you to purchase one. Not everybody, from my understanding, that meets the requirements will get the email. It depends on supplies. And if they go through you have 72 hours to respond, and if they go through them all and they end up having extra, they're going to start contacting people who don't meet all three criteria. But because you have to have met all those criteria, and even then you only get the possible opportunity to purchase one, that is their anti-scalper conditions. Nobody can fake those conditions nobody can fake those requirements to try to get one, and they can't get more than one. People are still going to scalp the ones at stores, and that's what I'm worried about. And because the invitations don't come until May, I don't know if I'll get an invitation, and I don't want to even gamble on that. I'd rather try to get one in store if possible. So that's the situation on it all. There's also the fact that the one in May, you have to pay up front, and you can't like cancel out once you've purchased it. So you commit right then and there. That's the conditions, though, the anti-scalper conditions. It'll help to some degree. The ones in stores will still be scalped. Anyways, Mario Kart World. So, like I said, Diddy Kong Racing I really like because it had this like big open adventure world with like a hub. Of course, the courses weren't connected, but it still kind of had this exploration to it that really wowed me as a kid. Mario Kart World is like an open world Mario Kart game, which is honestly I've never even considered as a possibility. You can drive around outside of the tracks and drive from like track to track. There is elimination knockout modes. There is, I believe, 51 characters have been confirmed so far, because I know people who, big Mario Kart fans, that are counting everything they can find. There's at least 51 characters, including some obscure ones. Something as obscure as the cow from Moo Moo Meadows on Mario Kart 64. There is an insane number of characters. There is costumes for all the characters. There's so much content here. Like I said, there's an elimination mode. And there's just exploring in the world, and seems like there might be like missions driving around. This all sounds really cool to me. The kind of interconnected exploration. And yeah, this is a launch title. Like, this is the launch title. Like, they're going to have other launch games, obviously, but this is the big first-party launch game that they're trying to use to sell the system, which makes sense. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the top-selling Switch game. Mario Kart is indeed a system seller, even if... Oh, I wanted to actually have background music. Uh, even if it let me turn it down. Even if Mario Kart has never in my mind stood as like the something you'd launch with, it makes sense. And they also will be having a bundle of the console that's for only $50 more you get Mario Kart World. And before I go on, I guess I'll touch on the price. It wasn't announced during the Direct, so this isn't part of the Direct. Hey, Inheritance. No worries, hope you're doing okay. They didn't announce the Direct or the price until after the Direct. The price has been, there's a good reason they didn't announce it, because that has been the hardest thing for people to accept. The Direct itself really didn't have any downsides, so they announced it afterwards. The system itself is $450, while the current Switch is $300. I believe the OLED's $350, which is a bit of a price jump. It's closer to other systems, really. And but I'll get into the specs. There's reasons for it, not to mention the economy. I won't get into that. But for $500, you can get it bundled with Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is launching at the price of $80 physical, $70 digital, which is a huge price increase. Like, Nintendo, outside of Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo games have been usually $60. Tears of the Kingdom was $70. And a lot of competitors in the past 5 years have started going up to $70 for new games. $80 is kind of unheard of. And this is the only game so far that's fully $80. There are a couple others on there that are Switch games with a bunch of added content. I'll get into that are $80, but that's because you're paying for the base game and the added content, which is still rough. Mario Kart World is just a brand new game just released at $80. Other games being shown range from high of 70 to low of 40. But yeah, and that's all relevant because the bundle, since you're paying $500 instead of $450, you're paying $50 more and you're getting Mario Kart World, which otherwise would cost $70 for digital or $80 physical. You're getting it digital though if you get it in the bundle. That's what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to get the bundle because I want Mario Kart World either way, and I'm not paying $80 for it. I'd rather just pay the $50 and get digital. So yeah, that's where we're at. But Mario Kart World does look phenomenal. The next thing they showed off is game chat. It's a feature, not a game. It's an online feature. Essentially, you can use a camera and microphone. I think the microphones are on the Joy-Cons. The camera, they are selling a camera for $50. For $50, you're not going to get a really good camera, but you'll get a camera. I think they said that you can use your own cameras, so I technically can just use my own camera, which is, I might do. As a streamer, I have a couple cameras, and they're better than the camera that Nintendo's selling. The game chat lets you, it's what it sounds like. You can chat with friends while playing, and even if you use your camera to video chat, you can see their screens at the bottom of your screen, a la Discord, at a much reduced frame rate, but it lets you kind of see what's going on with them. You can, in various games, you can have your face appear on screen, like in game, so they can see your reactions directly, like in a little bubble by your character and stuff. It's interesting. And that's why there's a new C button on the controllers that activates game chat and lets you mess with the options and stuff. It opens the game chat stuff. It looks like you can game chat while playing any game. You don't even have to be playing games together when chatting. You can just chat with friends. I use Discord. I'm not sure I'd use this, but I'd be willing to try it Next, they announced Game Share. Game Share kind of is a thing they already did with Nintendo DS. They called it, what did they call it? It was Download Play. Yeah, DS Download Play. It's essentially Download Play. For games that are support it, people friends without the game, but that have a Switch 2. Actually, no, it says Switch 1 or Switch 2. So, Switch 1 games that are getting Download Play, you can use with it, and you can you can interact with different hardware as long as it's on both, because Switch 2 is backwards compatible. Lets you play multiplayer with just one game. It sounds like it'll be less, while it still is only certain games, it'll be less reduced in features than Download Play. DS Download Play, everybody who didn't own the game got they got less options or less stuff you can do with them. For example, Mario Kart Super Circuit, they could only play as Yoshi. So, different colors of Yoshi, but only Yoshi. So, Game Share doesn't seem to have those limitations. It's just the game. And it sounds cool. It'll start with a free update to Clubhouse Games, which I do not own. I've considered numerous times maybe I should get it, because people I know always do it online, and I always think, who knows if they're going to keep playing online, but they always come back to it. But I don't know, I probably won't at this point with the way prices are going in games. I need to be conservative with that purchases. Also, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury will get it. Cool. Mario Odyssey, the Mario Odyssey online was kind of weird. I'm not sure. I don't know how, or not online, multiplayer. I don't know how that, if they're adding new features or it's just that kind of one player drills Cappy. And Big Brain Academy and other games. So cool, I guess. It's a feature. I probably won't use it much. Then they showed off some of the features of the system. The size comparison of the screen, which I think is 50% more screen space. It's much higher quality. I'm trying to see if this was yeah, so that was when they announced. So the Switch 2, this is why the Switch 2 is so pricey. The Switch 2 is, the Switch released and already was fairly outdated tech. The Switch 2, it's probably not a PS5 in power, but, you have two options you kind of can play in. You either can play in 4K at 60 FPS, which is excellent. And I just last night checked my TV and it is 4K, so I can use that if I want. Or you can play in 1080p with 120 FPS, which sounds like overkill. Switch games rarely, 30 FPS users with a capped end. Some of them struggle with that. So this is a huge increase in power. The screen itself also is 1080p when they're doing handheld mode. And everything they showed in the trailer looked great. Additionally, the controllers connect magnetically to the system. We already knew that, though. And they can be used as a mouse on a flat surface, which there was a lot of rumors and leaks about that. So yeah, and I think the mouse feature will be really great in both games that require aiming, as well as games like Mario Maker. If they have a Mario Maker 3, that'd be so great. I hope they have Mario Maker 3. They did not announce Mario Maker 3. Then there is the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which, despite sounding like something they were just kind of showing off to us. It is an app. I believe it's $10. I probably won't buy that. It lets you kind of walk around as a little, I don't know if it's a me, I don't think it's a me, I think it's little people. Walk around on a giant Switch 2 and like examine things and learn all the features and stuff. It's kind of dumb that this is being sold for $10. There's also mini games you can play. But like this really should just be a pack-in. Then they talked about the Switch 2 game cards, which are the Switch 2 ones are red. They're much faster. And also the system won't be compatible with the current microSD cards that Switch uses. It needs microSD Express cards, which are very new. I don't have one. I am going to have to eventually purchase one. Thankfully, unlike the Switch, which had, what did it have? 64 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, I don't know, of internal space. This has 512 gigabytes, so I can get by for a while. I'm probably going to wait for see if Black Friday has these SD cards on sale, because in theory I'd like to get the biggest one, the 1 terabyte, but that's $200, so I want to see if it goes on sale. The 512 gigabyte is $100. And then there's a 256 gigabyte, which is I think like 60 or something. It's a lot of money to dump into that, but microSD Express loads and stuff a lot faster. This is, again, things cost more, but we're having, for the first time in a very long time, a Nintendo console that can kind of keep up with its competitors. And I'm sure this will help like load times and stuff. Additionally, they didn't show in the Direct, but there are going to be some games that you can buy physical that are not, there's not actually a physical game in there, which this has been done with Switch before with download codes. In this case, it has kind of this dummy card. I forgot what they are calling it, but you have to put it in the game or this console to play. But then you download the console digitally, and just whenever you want to play, you have to put that in. Which, at that point, I don't know why you're getting physical, because you still have to have it digitally, you're just having the extra step. So I'm not going to work those games, I'll just get digital. If I want those games. But other than that, that's the situation with the storage. There's a new Switch 2 Pro controller that's very similar. My Pro controller right here. I can look at it side by side. Yeah, it's essentially the same controller, but it now has the C button for chat. And 2 new buttons in the back, GL and GR, that you can map to for things. That's which I might get a Pro controller. That's I like having the back buttons on my Steam Deck. It gives me more options. There's also a headphone jack on the new controller. So, then they announced Switch 2 Edition games. Certain games will be getting enhanced Switch 2 editions that add new visuals, new Switch 2 controls, and more. The games that they announced that will have that so far, Super Mario Party Jamboree, that will not be at launch. That'll be like a month later, I think. And which, by the way, the launch is in June. Super Mario Party Jamboree will be getting will be getting Jamboree 2E, which is the enhancement, which has a bunch of new modes. Most of it looked really good, but then there was in the Mario Party Madness crew, we found out that it has 2 versus 2 party mode, so you can just play the normal game 2 versus 2, and that gives a lot of format options for us. So we might be doing stuff with that. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are getting enhanced editions, which if you if you get NSO or have NSO at launch, you will get the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom enhancements for free as long as you have the base game. Because that's another thing. If you have the game, you can buy the upgrade instead of just paying full price to buy the game again. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like I said, they're getting an upgrade. You can get that for free, and that has a bunch of new features, like kind of like a map tracker thing, like notes from Zelda, achievements, all sorts of stuff. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is getting an enhanced edition with like a whole new like campaign or something. I don't know. It looked really cool. Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA, which obviously are coming in the future. Those will have Switch 2 enhanced editions, and I think for the most part it just looks like they look nicer. Although Metroid Prime 4 also supports the mouse control, which probably is helpful. But also they just both look nicer. Legends ZA, a lot of people are complaining about how it looks. That's because we were seeing the Switch 1 version. The Switch 2 version looks really beautiful. But yeah, so that's a new thing, enhanced editions. I think they said that some games they'll be having free updates to like just make them run better and look better and stuff. There was a new IP by them, Drag X Drive. It's wheelchair basketball. I'm not a sports person, so like I wasn't likely to have any interest in this. It's a 3v3 wheelchair basketball game. It looks cool for people that are into that. Though the controls also kind of look uncomfortable to me. You use both Joy-Con kind of as mice to independently like move your wheels. Like as if you're like when somebody's in a wheelchair and propelling themselves, like you grab the wheels and stuff. It shows off the features. I have to be picky and choose what games I get because of the pricing. Then they showed Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, which includes the expansion, and some other new features. And I already have Elden on Steam. I'm not gonna play full price to get it again, but that's really cool. Hades 2. Maybe I'll get that at launch. I don't know, or not launch when it comes out. I think it comes out later this year. I don't know. I'm undecided. I was kind of mixed feelings on Hades 1. Street Fighter 6. I'm not a Street Fighter fan, but will be coming at launch on June 5th. So cool for people who want that. Has exclusive content too. Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, September 5th. It's a sequel to Daemon X Machina, which I did not play, so I probably will pass on that for now. But cool. Split Fiction is getting a release on Switch 2, which is a like co-op game, kind of like It Takes Two. It's in fact by the same studio as It Takes Two. Probably won't get it, but who knows? I'd have to have somebody to play it with. Yeah. EA Sports, FC, and Madden NFL. I don't play sports games. Hogwarts Legacy. I don't buy Harry Potter stuff anymore. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. I don't play sports games. That's a sports game, even if it's a different type of sport. Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition. Cool. I've been curious about Hitman, but I'm not sure. Again, I have to be picky and choosy with my games now because of the prices, and I don't know if I'd take a plunge on that. Project 007. Don't know what that is. I don't really play shooters. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. This kind of shocked me. Bravely Default is a very good and a very flawed game. If you've never played Bravely Default, most of the gameplay and the story are phenomenal, but the second half of the game, I'm not going to say why, but it really can drag. Nonetheless, I might get it for one reason. It's going to be a launch title at $40, so it's going to be the cheapest launch title there. And I'll have new features, including new mini games, whatever that means. So I might get it, just to have one more game on there that's not as expensive. And I saw people surprised that it's only $40. I think Square Enix is being kind of brilliant here. I think they saw the other games cost $60, $70, $80 at launch, and being more well-known games than Bravely Default, more bit bigger fan base games, and they were like, rather than compete with that, if we price it at $40, a lot of people who just want another Switch 2 game but don't want to shell out another $70 might consider this. I think it was actually kind of a genius move of them, and I hope more studios give us cheaper ports like this that give us options that aren't all expensive. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut also coming at launch, and I might get it at launch. I don't know. I haven't, other than Mario Kart, I haven't decided what else I'm getting at launch. And Yakuza 0 is a game that I haven't played yet that I'd like to play. So maybe. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment coming in winter. It's another Hyrule Warriors game, yet again in the same timeline as Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. This one being a prequel to, or kind of what happened in the past of Tears of the Kingdom. I'll probably get it. I didn't like Age of Calamity as much as the original Hyrule Warriors, but I still enjoyed it enough. I wish they would move on from this era, but it's fine. I'll probably get it. I'll probably enjoy it too. The Nintendo Switch Online is getting GameCube. Finally, we had Wii, Wii U, and Switch, where all of them had retro catalogs going up to N64 and no further. And it has driven me crazy. They have treated GameCube like it can't be like that. It's something that they can just give a fresh coat of paint and sell at another $60 every time, the GameCube games. So I'm glad we're finally getting a GameCube NSO. It'll launch with Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. And later, by the way, great launch lineup. Wind Waker is a really great game. F-Zero GX gives it great multiplayer. And Soul Calibur 2 really shocked me. That's not first party, and I loved that game on GameCube. It has so much content. I look forward to playing that on NSO. And they did announce some upcoming GameCube games too. Later on, they'll be getting Super Mario Sunshine, great game. Sunshine's one of my favorite Mario games. Path of Radiance, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which I've always needed to play, so that'll be a great excuse. Pokemon XD Galactic Darkness, I never played that one, so I'd play that probably too. Super Mario Strikers, I've never played the original, I'll give it a try. Chibi Robo, same, I never played the original, I'll give it a try. Luigi's Mansion, great game, I'll replay that. Pokemon Coliseum, great game, I'll replay that. So, has a great selection of choices, and they're going to also sell GameCube controllers. Initially only to people who are invited to purchase through them. So who knows if I'll be able to get a GameCube controller at release. We'll see. Then Deltarune Chapter 3+4. It'll be, I think it actually includes all 4 chapters so far, but that'll be at launch. I'm not getting that because I'm waiting till all the chapters are out. Borderlands 4. Cool, I guess. I don't know. Civilization 7. Maybe. I think I have that on Switch and haven't played it. And if so, it does have an upgrade that you can purchase if you just have the first game, and then you have mouse controls. So I might. WWE 2K plus NBA 2K. I don't play sports games. Survival Kids. I don't know. It's a survival crafting game. I probably won't get it, but it'll probably be digital at least. Enter the Gungeon 2. I've never really been interested in that type of game, so I probably won't get it. Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions. I probably won't get it. I don't have any feelings there. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, maybe. I never played Cyberpunk 2077, and it might be an excuse. I don't know when it's coming. Oh, that's at launch too. There's a lot of games at launch. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. No release date, and I technically have this on Steam, so I might pass, but that's kind of a shame because I would sooner maybe play this on Switch. I don't know. Maybe I should play through it on my Steam Deck. Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess. I don't know much about that. Probably won't get it, but maybe. Hollow Knight Silksong. Confirmed 2025, supposedly. I don't want to believe them anymore. They said it was coming to... Microsoft thing said it was coming within a year, like 2 years ago, and it didn't. But it's coming to Switch 2, at least. And maybe it will come this year. And whenever it comes, I'm getting it that day. So... Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar. I'd probably pass. There's a lot of farming sim options, and this one doesn't particularly tickle my fancy, but good for people who want it. Goodnight Universe. Don't know what it is. Have enough things to worry about. 2 Point Museum. Same thing. Wild Hearts S. I kind of heard not great things about Wild Hearts. Like, it's a Monster Hunter-like game, but I've heard it kind of gets repetitive fast, so I'm probably not gonna get Wild Hearts. Hey there, Dragon, welcome. We're just talking about the Switch 2 Direct. We're like halfway through. Witchbrook, I probably won't get, but there's a small chance just because my sister is interested in it. And if I can play it online with her, maybe I would. It's a small chance. Love the Wiimaker music. I thought it'd be good and when it's not too repetitive. And it's not game specific. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. Maybe I'll finally get a Puyo Puyo Tetris game. I don't know. That's another launch title. Cool. There's a lot of games competing for my money and they're all pricey. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. I'm more likely to get Rune Factory than Story of Seasons, but I also probably won't get this at launch. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That's the beat 'em up, right? I'm not sure. I'm probably not gonna get it, but we'll see. Surprise Puyo Tetris 2S is a Sizzle Reel. Yeah, no, the Sizzle Reels had some. They casually had Hollow Knight in a Sizzle Reel. That was insane. Didn't even say a word. Just casually showed it there. Said 2025. That was one of the most insane things they did there, because it's just out of nowhere, and they didn't say anything. Star Wars Outlaws. I probably won't get it. Too many choices. Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition. I've always wanted to get Warren to Nobunaga's Ambition. There's so many choices, though. Fast Fusion. Probably not getting. Shadow Labyrinth, I was probably going to get. I already said that for the last Direct. Now that I know it's going to be also be on Switch 2, obviously I'll probably get it on Switch 2. Looks really fun. Just blazing those third-party apps. They were. Raidou Remastered. I just last week said I was going to get this on Switch, but I guess I'm going to get this on Switch too. So, probably. That's June 19th. That's only 2 weeks after the Switch 2. Like, this so much. No Sleep for Konami Date from the Somnian Files. Again, that's a game that I would be streaming with Inheritance, so I probably won't get it on Switch 2. I'll probably get it on Steam, assuming. Sorry about that. Stream crashed, and I don't know why. I don't know where I was when it crashed. I'll go back a few. Sorry about that. Shadow Labyrinth and Raidou Remastered, both of those I'm probably getting on Switch 2 because I said I was interested in last week. And Rydar Remastered comes 2 weeks after the Switch 2 launches. And the new iSomning files, I probably am not getting on Switch 2 because I would be doing that with Inheritance on stream. Reanimal, I don't know. There's too many choices. I don't want to look. Yeah, sorry about that, Dark Data, but I think we're all set now. Fortnite will not get. I don't like Fortnite. Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer. Cool. I will not get. Lots of choices. Frustrated into the New World of Steam. Supposedly coming this year. I hope it does come this year. I'll probably get it on Switch 2. I don't know if it's coming this year. They said it will. Tamagotchi Plaza. No. Plenty of choices already. I'm not getting that. Human Flatfall 2. Cool. Not getting it. Too many choices. The Dustbloods. So first of all, the Dustblood is coming next year. So that's competing with less right now. And it is a kind of a spiritual successor multiplayer Bloodborne by From Software, which is crazy to see on a Nintendo system. And it's going to be exclusive to the Switch 2. There's a chance I'll get it. I tried a little Bloodborne before, and why are we in slow mode? Can I turn off slow mode? Is this slow mode's off? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I might get Dustbloods. I liked what I played of Bloodborne. Kirby Air Riders. That was right near the end. That is a sequel to Kirby Air Ride, which I've never played, but always heard amazing things about. I guess I'll probably get Kirby Air Riders. It comes out sometime this year. And it's going to be by Sakurai, so he's not working Smash Brothers. Good for him. And finally, Donkey Kong Bonanza. That was the big game that was at the very end. I'm kind of disappointed that we get 3D DK back and it's not DK64 formula. It's not a collectathon, I don't think. But it does look fun, and I'll probably get it. And that comes out July 17th. That's only a month after. We have so many games coming out. And that was the Switch 2 presentation. We have so many games coming. They were really cooking with this. So yeah, I'm excited. The prices are the only thing that upset me. I can't get as many games as I'd like to get here. And I hope that I get a pre-order. Fingers crossed. I'll probably post in the Discord when and if I get a pre-order. Pretty sure it's Odyssey Team's work, maybe.